殿下，轻骑军深入，非常危险呐！窦建德赶在我们前面，那才是真正危险。殿下，殿下，走！殿下，走！殿下，快走！走！这样。
Hello travelers, this is Miyake T. In the previous episode, we saw Li Shiming exchange sincerity for loyalty. He won the unwavering loyalty of Yu Zhigong, but his noble endeavor brewed resentment in the heart of his very own brother, Li Yuanji. But when the fires of war raged on, all emotions had to be concealed within the depths of his own heart.
窦建德正在率10万，号称30万兵力逼近黄河，你们看怎么办？
Li Shiji struggles. In the previous episode, you declared that whoever dared to speak retreat would be head off. So why waste words? Just take action and finish Wang Shichong already. As for Du Ruhui, he remains steadfast in his strategy to take advantage of the Hulao Pass. The main forces laid siege to Luoyang city, while a select group of elite troops moved swiftly to seize Hulao. As the saying goes, fortune favors the bold. If they don't give it their all this time, it might be a matter of life or death. And our future could be jeopardized when Wang Shichong's vitality has been rekindled. Zhang Sun Wuji, who advocated for an offensive, concurred, but he emphasized 2 points. First, we must make sure that Wang Shichong won't come out of the city to attack us. Second, we must catch the enemy off guard with swift and unexpected moves. Failing to do so could lead us into a situation where enemies assail us from all sides.
好，说得好啊。
Zhang Sun Wuji's words hold true. For now, our best option is to keep a sizable force besieging the city, forcing Wang Shichong to remain within the walls. This way, the number of troops heading to Hulao would be limited. Li Shiming's mind raced, swiftly calculating the battlefield and the gains and losses of clashing armies. Following this contemplation, he issued his command.
徐德宗在，你辅佐齐王围困洛阳。是。秦叔宝在，程志杰在，侯俊吉在，李世基是。你们各选600骑兵。 御史敬德在，你率领全部铁甲军，今晚随本帅赶往五劳关。遵命。
As they say, useful recklessness knows no bounds. Li Shiming's plan is indeed filled with thrills and suspense. For now, let's put aside the preparations he set out. Back in Chang'an, as mentioned in the last episode, Li Yuan agreed to have Li Jing serve as the chief clerk by Li Xiaogong's side, leading an expedition against Xiaoxian. However, the formal appointment decree haven't reached Li Jing yet. Li Yuan delegated this task to his crown prince, Li Jiancheng. He ordered him personally visit Li Jing's place to bestow the decree.
这样的话，李靖不会傲慢吧？
As for the art of employing people, Li Jiancheng does have a sword compared to Li Shimin. Li Yuan's intention was, by having you, the crown prince, personally present in front of Li Jing, it demonstrates your respect for Li Jing. In return, Li Jing's loyalty to you becomes evident. Though a distinction between royalty and subjects must exist, yet, for capable individuals, an extra layer of personal connection is valuable. Only through such strong interpersonal relationships between rulers and ministers can stability in the court be ensured.
儿臣明白了，像李靖这样的人才，父皇让儿臣与他加强私人情谊，是为儿臣的今后着想。你明白了就好啊。
After the crown prince finished reading the appointment decree, Li Jing proceeded in line with Li Yuan's envisioned script.
殿下如此看重李靖，李靖虽然愚钝，但也知道对陛下尽忠，就是对殿下尽忠。
将军如此说，让建成十分感动。
Okay, job done. Back to Li Yuan. To boost the morale of the frontline troops, Li Yuan summons Li Shiming's wife, Lady Zhang Sun, who happened to be the sister of Zhang Sun Wuji. He summoned her with the intention of bestowing the title Prince of Zheng upon her second son, Li Tai. By doing so, when Li Shiming heard this news at the front line, it would serve as a morale boost. As for why the bestowed title was Prince of Zheng, it is because it happened to be Wang Shichong's title. Upon hearing this, Lady Zhang Sun realized that the title is granted according to the enemy's title.
Daddy, I have heard that Dou Jiande showed up from north, eager to clash with my husband. Shimi and me are planning for another boy, so please reserve the title Prince of Xia for us as well. You look, you! I'm just kidding.
Let's just skip this part for now. At Luoyang, Li Shimin completed his preparations. Before his departure, he cautioned his younger brother Li Yuanji, surround Luoyang but avoid direct confrontation with Wang Shichong, set up obvious ambushes around the city, then leave the rest aside, and, for heaven's sake, cut down on drinking and womanizing. A glance at Li Yuanji's expression revealed the unlikelihood of that happening.
大哥，我知道，你放心，我绝不会让洛阳出来一个人。
好，我也绝对不会让窦建德过五牢关。
Just as Li Shimin had left, news of his departure reached Wang Shichong.
陛下，唐军夜间行动向东开拔，
有多少人？
大约3、4千人。
这样明目张胆，他们想干什么？
As the saying goes, once bitten by a snake, one fears a rope for decades. After being outmaneuvered by Li Shimin previously, Wang Shichong had learned his lesson. This time, he sent his men to scout for any potential ambushes. A night passed without any incident, and the next day, the scouts returned with their report.
报告陛下，单将军说城北城东发现了唐军的伏兵，在天亮以后都撤走了。单将军说，陛下料敌如神。
Old Wang sneered. When I was mastering the art of war, Li Shimin was still in diapers. He thinks he can lure me into a trap again? Oh ho ho ho, dream on it. I won't fall for that and vent my anger by going out. Little did he know, what Li Shimin really desired is exactly his defensive posture. On the other side, Li Shimin and his troops had been on the move for a day and a night. Scout arrived with news, saying that Dou Jiande is only 5 hours away from them. If we don't speed up, the race to Hulao Pass would remain uncertain.
现在成败的关键是我们的速度。这样，把马匹分成3队，双马为前队，强马为中队，弱马为后队，轮流休息半个时辰，继续前进。前队加速，中队正常速度，后队可以稍微放缓，但是不能停。违抗者斩。是，殿下。出发，快走！后面的跟上，后面的都给我跟上！
With speed now on their side, the challenge remains how to seize control of Hulao Pass. History often takes unexpected turns through a series of coincidences, yet forming inevitable outcomes. After Li Shimin's relentless assault on Luoyang yielded no results, Shen Yue, a knight who is loyal to Wang Shichong, learned that only about 3,000 people remained within the city. He then sent his word of surrender. When Li Shimin dispatched Wang Junhuo to attack Hulao Pass, Shen Yue assisted from within. If Wang Shichong found out, he will surely be infuriated. Of course, the TV drama version might not depict it as much. By simplifying the plot, it doesn't seem abrupt. Li Shimin raced onward. He finally reached Hulao Pass ahead of Dou Jiande.
王将党志平拜见秦王殿下。
起来吧，窦建德离这儿还有多远？
已在距五牢关10里之外安营扎寨。
知道了。
Li Shimin heaved a sigh of relief. With his own soldiers now within Hulao Pass, Dou Jiande's advancement would be halted right here. He then issued an order for the entire army to rest. And barbecue, let's go.
把那几只羊都烤了。
They say a warm-hearted leader can invigorate his subordinates, and Li Shimin wasn't just warm with his words. He extended warmth through his actions as well. As the Qin prince, he personally massaged his subordinates' leg to help them relax. With a leader like this, it is not wonder his men would give their all. On the other side, Dou Jiande felt a twinge of annoyance for failing to outpace Li Shimin, but it wasn't a significant concern. After all, the more people you have, the less you should fear. It is just around 4,000 troops. We can handle them easily. However, Wei Zheng held a different perspective. To the left of the Hulao Pass is the Sishui River, and to the right is the Yellow River. There's only one narrow gorge at the path. Our advantage in numbers of 100,000 won't be effective. With his 4,000 troops, he can hold but not attack. Breaking through Hulao Pass is a daunting task. So why not we employ a strategy to attack Chang'an at this point? The main town forces are in Luoyang and Jiangnan region, leaving Chang'an relatively defenseless. We can head north across the Yellow River directly toward to Chang'an. Will Li Shiming defend against us? If he returns to Chang'an, Luoyang will be saved. If he doesn't, we will capture Chang'an and gain all the advantages without any harm.
兵家说：“举棋不定，取稳重。我们稳住阵脚之后，再议不迟。”
Wei Zheng remained perplexed. His plan was undoubtedly the best. What could be causing Dou Jiande's hesitation? A few days later, Li Shiming also contemplated the strategy Wei Zheng had in mind. As Dou Jiande continued to delay his actions, could it be that he is considering retreating and attacking Chang'an? Finally, Fang Xuanling, who hadn't proposed any strategies from the beginning, spoke up.
依我看，窦建德根本就不会走。
为什么？
窦建德起兵真是为了救洛阳吗？如果真是这样，那他为什么不直接去攻打长安呢？现在大家心里都清楚，我大唐的兵力几乎都在洛阳，长安空虚，禁不住一击。如果他直接去打长安，我们就不得不退兵了，洛阳之围自然也就解了。
那他为什么要这样做呢？
窦建德，河北的一介草寇，心中向往的是洛阳的繁华，在他眼里，做洛阳的王要比做长安的王还要威风。这一次，他不过是借着帮王世充解围的名义，想取而代之罢了。
说得对。
Insightful this Fang Xuanling truly was. He could perceive the underlying strategic goals of Dou Jiande, highlighting that he wasn't an ordinary opponent. Since Li Shiming now understood Dou Jiande's true intentions, he felt at ease. If you don't want to leave, then I will find a way to finish you. He wrote a letter to Dou Jiande. The content was a declaration. I'm dealing with Wang Shichong right here. What the hell you are doing here? If you don't back off soon, I will come for you next.
好，激将法。
Soon after, accompanied by Li Shiji and Yu Chigong, the three of them swagged right up to Dou Jiande's camp. With heads held high, Li Shiming shouted the resounding battle cry of his own. With bow and arrow in my hand, spear in yours, side by side we stand. What can your hundreds of thousands do against us?
是啊，又能怎么样呢？
大唐秦王李世民在此。
These damn three dare to come challenge and mock us in front of our camp? Why not seize the chance and eliminate them right now?
Then, several thousand cavalry charged forth. Li Shiming remained calm and composed. He let Yu Chigong and Li Shiji depart first, while he held the rear, drawing his bow and firing arrows. He took down several opponents. Then he laughed maniacally toward to the sky before riding away. He was just born this wild. Dou Jiande, after reading the letter and facing Li Shiming's taunts, was left unable to control the situation any longer.
他让我退兵，兵我是不退的。
Frankly, old Dou wasn't reliable anymore. The daily consumption of supplies for his 100,000-strong army was a concern. But the real issue was how much longer Wang Shichong could hold out. Dou Jiande had aspirations of becoming emperor in Luoyang. If Li Shiming kept dragging on and Wang Shichong surrendered, Luoyang would be lost. The power balance between three would turn into a rivalry between two tigers. My own rosy plan would crumble.
我们一定要拿下五老关。我就不信，这10万人打不过几千人。
Although Wei Zheng might not know the exact thoughts in Dou Jiande's mind, he could perceive that this man was determined to not to make a move. Wei Zheng didn't waste words either. As they say, kind words can sway the stubborn, and compassion is lost on the self-righteous. I, Wei Zheng, can't afford to show excessive mercy. It is time for me to act.
当初我随李密在长安的时候，我和唐太子李建成有数面之缘呐。看来看去，夏王窦建德、郑王王世充、长安李渊3家里，唐应该是能成事的。
As an ancient saying goes, wise ministers choose their lords to serve, and the wise birds select their trees to nest. Though servants might be humble, choosing a master isn't a child play. Wei Zheng set off alone on the journey towards Chang'an, seeking refuge with the crown prince of the Tang dynasty, Li Jiancheng. That very evening, Dou Jiande announced that at the next dawn, he would launch an attack on Hulao Pass.
直接去洛阳啊！咱们河北人也到河南的洛阳看看，洛阳可是个好地方啊！我入洛阳易，出洛阳可不易了啊！王世充得备份厚礼了啊！
A night passed in silence. The next day, the entire army set forth, drums beating as they marched, war horses neighed, filling the air. The 100,000 army followed the Sishui River, stretching north and south for over 20 miles. Upon receiving the news, Li Shimin decided not to defend the Hulao Pass. He planned for a decapitation maneuver, positioning over 3,000 armed cavalry in 4 groups to ambush from the rear. He himself would act as a bait, luring Dou Jiande's main forces into the ambush zone. Li Shimin and Yu Chigong placed 1,000 horses near the Yellow River to graze, creating a false appearance of the horses running out of fodder.
窦建德真的会上当吗？当然会。他急着夺取五劳关，急一定上当。
Dou Jiande didn't hesitate when he saw the situation. He lashed his horse and charged after Li Shimin. Now, in ancient warfare, cavalry was a formidable force. With the Tang army's horses deprived of their forage, their stamina naturally waned. The time for decisive action was now. Fearing Dou Jiande's rapid pursuit, Li Shimin shot arrows while galloping. Dou Jiande's main force grew more excited as they chased, knowing well that cavalry outpaced infantry. After a brief moment, his main cavalry detachment became separated from the rest of the army, entering the ambush zone, facing Li Shimin's 3,000 armed elite cavalries. Dou Jiande's cavalry had no chance. The clash brought about a chorus of shouts and cries. An extravagant and flashy battle that seemed more like a show. In the chaos, Dou Jiande was captured alive. The decapitation maneuver concluded, and the 100,000 strong army deprived of its core fell apart. Of course, the hysterical of the Battle of Hulao Pass varies in some aspects due to the distance of time. And it was far more complicated than this simplified version. As for whether 3,500 armed elite cavalries could defeat a 100,000 strong army, well, my fellow travelers, your judgment.
我就不明白，我打王世充碍你什么事儿？啊？你不好好当你的下王，跑到这儿找死呢？啊？
我自己不来，恐怕还得麻烦你去啊。
Looking at Dou Jiande confined in captivity, Wang Shichong's last vestiges of stubborn resistance crumbled, and the city gates opened in surrender. Yet in a single battle, he vanquished 2 opposing forces, displaying his remarkable military prowess in full glory. This battle laid the foundation for the next 300 years of the Tang dynasty's prosperity and legacy. And at this moment, Li Shimin was just 23 years old. Coming up next episode, Zhang Sun Wujin and Fang Xuanling aimed to ignite Li Shimin's aspiration to ascend the throne. So they sought an audience with the Taoist master Wang Yuanzhi. However, unexpectedly, a single sentence from him unveiled the unfathomable.
你们当中有一位圣人，敢问难道是秦王吗？天子不可以冒险于万一，要自